If you're considering a move to Saskatchewan, it can be hard to determine what city should I ultimately land in. This week, we are going to make the case of why Humboldt, Saskatchewan is a great place to live. Hope you enjoy.
This is the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast, the show that highlights Saskatchewan real estate. Looking to buy your first house, your next investment property? Subscribe to never miss an episode. Here's your host, Ron Caroni.
Hello and welcome back to the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast, your home for all things real estate and all things Saskatchewan. If you're looking for more content just like this, we air weekly episodes that come out every single Monday. And some of our most popular episodes are the ones that specifically feature Saskatchewan communities. And I'm really excited about chatting about a place that I spent actually a lot of time in, and it's Humboldt, Saskatchewan. And here to help me do that is Penny Lee from the city of Humboldt. She holds the Marketing and Development Manager title. Penny, thanks so much for joining us on the podcast today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Just quickly, before we get into why Humboldt is such a great area, such a great city, just give us a brief introduction of yourself, Penny, and then we'll let the folks know why Humboldt is maybe their next place that they should be calling home.
Sure. As you said, I'm the Marketing and Development Manager for the city. Actually, when I started with the city in 2018, February of 2018, my title then was Communications Manager. And since then, my role has actually expanded to be responsible for all the land sales and purchases of the city. So that's where we decided to change it to Marketing and Development Manager, because I also oversee the communications department as well.
Wonderful. So you're perfectly situated to be chatting about this exact topic. And what we're really going to do here is talk about the 6 great reasons why Humboldt is a great city. So we're going to touch on agriculture, mining, manufacturing, recreation, arts and culture and tourism, and lastly, doing business. So let's get right into it, Penny. Let's touch on agriculture and how that ties into Humboldt.
Oh, well, we're very much an agriculture community. We're in the heart of the province, as you say, and that's actually how our brand came to be, the heart of it all. So it's actually interchangeable as being the heart of agriculture, because for anybody who's perhaps like an oak producer or something like that, if they were to situate themselves near Humboldt, their producers are right in the backyard. They could actually buy direct from the farmers if they so chose to. So agriculture has been the center of the region for centuries, essentially. And we're in one of the richest regions of the province in terms of the quality of the crops that are produced here. The other reason we're at the heart of agriculture is also for the agriculture support businesses, such as Hergot, Case IH, Pattison. The big industries do well here because of their clientele being so close by, right? So
you're getting a lot of carryover business, right? You have like the direct producer, which is the farmer, but then you also have a massive industry to support those farmers. And I think it kind of goes without saying that sometimes we underappreciate how big the agriculture industry here is in Saskatchewan, specifically in Humboldt, but because it is so day-to-day to us, it is this major economic driver. So a really excellent one, and you're right, Humboldt really is at the heart of that, and excellent farmland and excellent farmers. But it's not just farming where we're really talking about big industry. There's a lot happening in mining around Humboldt, not, in the city, but very close by.
Yes, we have 2 industry giants right in our backyard, Nutrien and BHP. And with BHP actually amping up, we're looking at growing rapidly, the number of people they're going to be hiring. But that also means those people are bringing their families. And so the wives or husbands of these workers are going to be looking for job opportunities here as well. So the spin-off from both mines actually is quite tremendous and promising. In fact, my husband just retired from Nutrien after 28 years, and he also farms. So it's been busy. It's been wonderful with having opportunities, not only in agriculture, but also in the mining industry for everyone involved.
From a development standpoint, Penny, is it hard to kind of manage the planning of something like that when you have these, billion-dollar projects happening, around Humboldt, and being a relatively small city? Correct me if I'm wrong, Penny, but sitting around 6,000, 7,000 people?
6,033.
And
Yeah.
and so if we're talking about like, these massive mines with these big work populations, does it become, very interesting balancing the growth of the city as well with that?
Oh, absolutely. We've been having meetings upon meetings, all of our departments, including like obviously public works, recreation, and sort of realigning where our borders are and which way do we want to grow? Do we grow
Right.
north? Do we grow south? Do we go east or west? And a lot of that comes with cooperation from our surrounding RMs, right? So, and fortunately, we have great relationships with the RM of Humboldt, which immediately surrounds us, and also with the village of Munster being so close by, they're going to feel the growing as well. So it takes a lot of people to make the right plan so that 20 years down the road from now, they don't look at the city and go, who were those people at the city who made this decision, right? We don't want that. So part of what we're doing right now too is sector planning, sector area planning for the city, so that we know where our roads are eventually going to have to go through if a big developer comes in, those sorts of things, and then where do we put the additional schools that we're going to need, and those sorts of things. So it's definitely an exciting time here.
Lots of big planning, lots of big projects, and we're not really even done talking about the economics of Humboldt. Let's touch on manufacturing and the good work that happens there as well.
Oh yeah, we have so many excellent manufacturing plants here. Humboldt is actually referred to as the Iron Triangle. Iron Triangle. We're the hub of the Iron Triangle because there's not only manufacturing done right here in Humboldt, pardon me, but there's also large industries such as Schulte Industries, just in Engle Belt, Burgo in St. Brew. Here we have CIM, we have Depker Industries in Anaheim, and a lot of those employees actually live in Humboldt as well and travel
Correct.
there. So and we're the hub for those manufacturers in terms of, because they're in smaller towns. So those people, if they don't live here, they come here for their shopping, for their groceries, for their clothing, and regular routine things like that.
Right. For anyone who's not aware of how big some of these industries are, like I'm originally from St. Brew, and St. Brew is a town of around 700 people, and Burgo employs 700 people. And so you have massive amounts of people who travel into the small town of St. Brew to partake in the job opportunities there, but then they do find themselves living in places like Humboldt or Melfort, the other city just north to the side. But other than Melfort, Humboldt would be the bigger center where people are going to do a lot of their day-to-day shopping and even calling a lot of that place home. So yeah, I really enjoyed that part, or that's a really good point to touch on. Those are big industries in Saskatchewan, and another one of those kind of under the radar economics as well. So then for those people who are living and working in Humboldt, we obviously want to take part in some play. What can we tell someone who is, they're hearing about all these great job opportunities and the economics that are happening, but what can someone do with a family, and how can you enjoy the city of Humboldt?
Well, one of the benefits of being a small city is that your commute is less than 15 minutes, no matter what, if you're in town. So that gives you a lot of time for family time, quality family time. And we are well known for our recreational facilities. We're a hockey town, of course, and but we're a year-round type of community. There's always baseball going on there in the summertime. There's golfing. We have a great golf course here. And then, of course, in the wintertime, there's hockey and figure skating, but there's also dance and gymnastics and whatnot that children can actually participate in. So we're a well-rounded community in that sense. And on the recreational point of view, though, too, is because of our growth, we're maxing out in terms of our arena time allowance for people to be able to rent ice time. So that brings me to the Bronco Tribute campaign, where our vision is to actually build another arena so that there is more, like the city is going to need it no matter what, right? And because of our growth. And but it's a wonderful way to pay tribute to the 2017-18 Humboldt Broncos, and commemorating them in a very heartfelt way, and giving back to the communities.
So we have that recreation aspect, and it's, amazing that you guys are also looking forward to the growth that is happening, and that as the city does expand, you're also adding on those facilities to facilitate more people. And so if we're talking to someone about, okay, we have the recreation, we have the jobs, how are we doing on the arts, culture, and tourism front?
We have a wonderful cultural services department. They always have programs going on weekly at the museum and the gallery, where people can either come and paint or learn a new sort of creative skill, or hone in on their skills. We're also working with on a reconciliation project, a pilot project for the next year. So our cultural services is really working towards engaging the community more from a perspective of learning more about reconciliation, and even beadwork. And even myself, I'm Métis, and so reconciliation is important to me as well. So I held a skirt sewing session for anybody who wanted to come. The ribbon skirts, of course, are very popular within our cultures, and a lot of people came up from the community and just to learn more about the meaning of them. And the museum has also had beadworking sessions, those sorts of things. There's also our Filipino community. They have a festival each year as well. So we're a very inclusive community as well.
For anyone who is Filipino, I know this is anecdotal, but I do know, like in St. Brew, Humboldt, Melfort, there is a very strong Filipino footprint in those communities as well. So if that was something that you were worried about moving to a place like Humboldt, you're going to have some cultural ties there as well. And just lastly on that, Penny, could we touch on the tourism aspect of Humboldt and some of the great things that, maybe you're not planning on moving there, but some of the cool things that you could come and check out?
For me personally, I think the coolest thing we have is our water tower. Although I'm afraid of heights, I will not go to the top of it, but it's completely restored. And it really is quite an amazing thing to see, even if you can stand at the bottom and look up. It's gorgeous in there. We also have original Humboldt, which is just a few miles outside of Humboldt, where the telegraph was originally constructed. There's always excavations going on out there and different activities. Then we also have our museum and our gallery. There's so much to see in both of those buildings, and the gallery always has rotating displays or showcases and whatnot. So, and we also have a little campground in town that people can stay at, and it's right next door to our golf course. It's an 18-hole golf course, which is quite tremendous.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Penny. And lastly, for people who are looking to do business in Humboldt, what can we say about the business community?
The business community here is very welcoming. A lot of our businesses are entrepreneurs. They started it from the ground up themselves, or they purchased it from someone else. And our community is very supportive of our shops. Every year I always have Shop Your Heart Out in Humboldt campaign, put your money where your heart is, those sorts of things. And and even starting a business in Humboldt is we're here to help and get you in the right place and make sure the licensing or anything like that. So
A lot of support from the municipality and from the city from that standpoint. That's excellent. Before we get to your contact info, Penny, and how people can get more information on Humboldt, I really like to ask everyone who comes on the podcast this question. It's that, what advice would you give to a younger version of yourself? So you can take this however you want it, but what advice would you give to a younger Penny?
oh boy, that's kind of a loaded question. Just to keep doing what I was doing so that I could get to where I am today.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So Penny, someone's watching this and they're really liking what they're hearing about Humboldt. Maybe they have a question about moving, setting up a business. Potentially they have some business opportunities that they'd like to discuss. What's the best way to get in contact with you and get in touch and stay in touch with the city?
My email is penny.lee@humboldt.ca. That's very easy to remember. And our website is humboldt.ca as well. And we have contact forms on there, so it's easy enough for them to contact me through there.
Excellent. I always love touching on Saskatchewan communities because I think it is our biggest strength here in the province is these wonderful places like Humboldt that offer great jobs, excellent quality of living, and are really special places. And there's a lot of big things happening here. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing about the community of Humboldt. And I hope someone watching this considers the move if they're looking for a great city to live in.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast. I hope you found some value here. And if you're looking for more content just like this, we air weekly episodes that come out every single Monday. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to never miss one of these episodes. If you're in the process of buying a home, renewing your mortgage, or potentially looking at a refinance, I am licensed in the province to do mortgages. So make sure to give me a call and I'd be happy to walk you through how I can get you the best rate, term, and product. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast. My name is Ron Ferroni. Until next week, bye for now.